And number one, Soraka being removed. MYM don't want to deal with the global heal of Wish.
That was so rude of them to start the game without saying anything.
I know. They just jump on, say go, and then click start. So I really hope that... MYM are here because they got first ban. So Curse using the full 30 seconds, down to 25 on the clock. Not sure who they want to remove, and... it appears Nocturne.
Oh, I was going to say Nocturne. Dang, I didn't get to say it. So, really quickly, I opened up the Curse stream to see what they were doing because there was quite a delay between those two matches, and all I saw were boxes of food just getting devoured by all the Curse players. So, a quick little lunch break being taken out. They had to scarf down some food. Hopefully going to be nice and energized for this game. The food not weighing them down too much. But yeah, Ahri and Nocturne being taken out. Just both really good gankers.
Oh, it appears my stupid Gmail notifications. Let's actually just close this altogether to get rid of them. And Ahri, Nocturne, Yorick, the next follow-up bans. We've seen Yorick a couple times today already, doing very, very well, giving the Omen of Death onto all those AD carries and just bring them back to life. And yeah, I have not seen an Ahri in a game for a little while. Really, really high tier, high priority ban from a lot of professional level teams.
I mean, honestly, yeah, you're right. Like, you'll see her in North America all the time because she's just so good, but isn't part of the ban trend there. North American bans right now are just like all the junglers. Alistar, Nautilus, get rid of those nerds. But Ahri, I'm not surprised she's become a common ban here in the EU scene. And it's a good ban because frankly she's just such an incredibly effective character when it comes to things like ganks. So it's weird, but like her mobility with her ultimate is just so good, and then charm to initiate, it's devastating. There also aren't any like good consistent lane counters to her. There are characters that are okay against her, but no one is just like, yeah, that guy completely destroys Ahri. Does not happen.
Yeah, the only champion that I've really seen doing that has been a Rise, and very interestingly, no ban followed up by an Evelyn ban. So I don't know what that's about. Let me see if we can get some info. Third bans for both teams. I doubt that's an actual Evelyn ban, unless it's meant to be a placeholder for who they really wanted to ban.
Well, they don't really need placeholders for who they want to ban, though. Well, I'm gonna add. Yeah, let me ask you. I'll ask MeetYourMakers and make sure that was what they wanted to ban.
All right, so we're just busy chatting to the players. Going to find out what's happening here. Let me also message Fly and see what he has to say. Fly, third bans, WTF. So we're going to wait for them to see that. But a very, very quick Karthus locked in from MeetYourMakers. So
And it actually could be a strategy coming out from MeetYourMakers and Curse in response. Like MeetYourMakers don't ban a character that they want to play, like so it leaves them with options. Like let's say they'd banned out Karthus and they wanted to pick Shen. Well then, Shen could get banned out from Curse. So it just leaves two options open.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so
Too much talking. Libic forgot to ban. Okay, no plan out there from MeetYourMakers. Okay, and they didn't want to ban Evelyn.
all right, well, yeah, according to Fly, they actually wanted to ban Evelyn, so they've removed them. And I'm nervous now for Curse because 3 high-tier champions, Karthus, Malphite, and Shen, and they're all locked in for MYM.
Overall, kind of an odd start. Oh, Gragas versus Karthus. If they lock this in, I'll go into that. That's a really cool matchup. But Shen, Malphite, Karthus. The question is going to be who jungles. Technically, they can all jungle. Not Karthus quite as much, though. I would assume it's going to be Shen top lane, Malphite in the jungle, just because Shen, with the recent nerfs to his passive, is actually a bit slower in the jungle. He's never been that fast, but now that his passive, Keystrike, does not scale as much, you do notice a slower jungle coming out from him. And it's already a slow jungle on a slow jungler. So, I would like to see that Gragas Alistar pickup. Okay, Gragas is awesome against Karthus because it forces him to build a little bit defensively. His ultimate can displace Karthus, and if Karthus dies out of position, then the only thing he has going for him is Requiem. Requiem's of course amazing, but you want to get those lay waste down. You want to get your defile damage onto the enemy team, and a well-placed Gragas ult can shut that down. And we've seen it happen before. Gragas is just a good character when played well, and Curse knows how to use him.
I'm wondering about that now. You just mentioned the lay wastes and the positioning. If Shen is able to get a good Shadow Dash taunt off and lock up 2 or 3 champions on the defile and on the lay wastes, it could be enough time to really chunk down, because Gragas is, he'll have a fair amount of hit points, but he's not necessarily the tankiest. Ezreal is pretty squishy as well. The last champion for Curse still has to be locked in, but this is a pretty strong side coming out of MYM. And is that going to be a support Morgana?
Yes.
Okay.
Big old question mark. Like that was a yes, and then like a question mark floated into the air. I'd assume so because I have no idea where they could put her. We've seen support Morgana come up every now and then. It's gonna be awesome if that's actually a support Alistar, but that doesn't have to be a support Alistar. Actually, it'll be awesome against jungle Alistar too because you can shield that. I want to see what they choose. Like for Curse, they're in a unique position. Morgana in the bot lane is gonna be really hard to gank, so maybe they can go with some. I don't even know what they would go for. Just maybe a Janna, someone to buff up Ezreal rather than to CC the enemy team.
And AP Janna would actually be a very good selection for this. The counter initiation on Karthus, Shen, Malphite. Shen, Malphite going to be diving into you. Morgana's going to be diving in there as well. So use that Monsoon, get rid of everybody. And it's not necessarily the highest damage, but it's semi-decent. So we are going to have a quick remake of this one. Apparently Livek's PC did actually reset. So last pick. Going to see who the final pick is from Curse EU. Who are they going to play as their AP middle? Who are they going to decide to come up against this unique lineup from MYM?
And actually, it's a little note. Look at Libic's message. It actually said he'd quit, so it's a different message when players leave now. Yeah, it's all about the top liner. They could put Gragas up there. He will not be. You'll actually be okay against those top laners. Malphite will be very okay against him. He's not going to have that great gap closing ability, and he will have decent sustain as Gragas. Shen will be a bit trickier, of course. I don't really know what they want to go for. They have a lot of options, but it's such an odd team because you are dealing with support Morgana. So it will be jungle Alistar though. I completely missed that Taric was chosen for some reason. So with Taric, Ezreal bot lane, jungle Alistar, then mid lane. Who's their mid laner?
Gragas. Yes, Gragas. So maybe Gragas and Janna. You've got 2 very good counter initiations. You've got the Zephyr and the Howling Gale to hold people in place for a little bit, as well as the Dazzle. So, and then if you get a good headbutt, Pulverize, pick off single targets, get rid of anybody else that's a threat or anybody else that's going to deal the DPS, and maybe that could work out. And
Aurelia, Jax. I think would be some good picks.
And according to Slepper, it's going to be Aurelia. He's just sent me a message a few seconds ago. It's literally the moment the word left your mouth, he actually said Aurelia. So, Corki and Morgana bot lane, Karthus middle, potentially, Malphite in the jungle, and who am I missing? Shen top lane? Or do you think Shen jungle, Malphite top?
Well, I mean, they actually chose Shen Mokata, so it looks like it's going to be Shen the jungle, Malphite top lane. I'd say that's a better pick overall. Malphite's going to have the attack speed debuff to slow down Aurelia by quite a bit. I like this composition from both teams. They're both very unique. The support Morgana is going to be super awesome while playing. Like, they're going to have this just really cool initiation where Karthus can follow up the Malphite ultimate, the Shen dash, and he'll be in a good spot. But it's weird because, I mean, it's support Morgana. You just don't see it. They have to do well bot lane for that to be really effective. Like, they can't completely lose bot lane. But if they just come out okay, they're going to be in such a good spot from that utility. And then, of course, on Curse, it's Gragas again. And we've seen how they do with Gragas before, but they don't have the easy Malphite initiation. So I don't know.
I'm quite nervous for Curse EU right now because the potential for MYM is so good. Exactly like you said about Morgana, coming out of that bottom lane as a support. If she opts to go for, say, the Heart of Gold, a KG's Lucky Pick, and Philosopher's Stone, yes, okay, the CS isn't going to be there as a backup, the rest of the gold, but GP10's ticking over, working towards a little bit of ability power, maybe going a Deathfire Grasp or something like that. Base values are good, and Dark Binding manages to catch, Ezreal, Taric, or Gragas. They're going to go down very quickly from that lineup.
It's so weird, but Curse, they're good. I think they can make their composition work. It's just gonna be hard to deal with that support. That support Morgana is actually gonna be a huge burden because it's gonna stop the grind. I don't know, man. It's weird to say it because support Morgana is considered really bad. but it fits so well into this team composition against the cursed team composition.
Yeah, I agree with that. And what I like as well is the burst that Corki has at low level already is very, very good. Put him with a support that's got some damage as well, in the forms of maybe a Sona or a Taric, and he does well. But give him a Dark Binding and a Tormented Soil in conjunction with his burst, follow up with a Gatling Cannon and a Missile Barrage to pick up the kill. There's the potential for a lot of kills for both Corki and Morgana if they can catch out Taric and follow it up.
And honestly, Alistar's damage isn't super high, so once Libic reaches level 6, they're going to be in a good position to use for ultimate offensively. Like, that's a problem Support Morgana can have. It's like, oh, I ulted as Support Morgana, and they just killed me in response because I don't have any HP. The advantage with that Alistar lane is that Alistar, his spells hurt, but they have really long cooldowns, and they're not that damaging in the end. So, I don't know, I really just want to see it. It's almost like watching a car crash in slow motion, like, what's gonna happen next? What are they gonna do?
I've never heard of a lane being referred to as a car crash. So I like that one, Studio. I like that one. Who are you looking at as far as runes are concerned? I've just opened up Jaru's Karthus. 2109 in terms of mastery, taking 4 points into the movement speed from utility. He also has 4.5% additional movement speed from his runes. And quite an interesting page. 7 MR, 7 armor, 8.5 magic pen, and 19 ability power at level 18. So a little bit of everything.
Pretty standard. I was actually looking at Libic's runes, and it's just like, it's actually just normal support runes, and I'm really disappointed, but then again, support runes are not particularly exciting. It's going to be GP5 quintessences. Then it's going to be, do you play greedy and go for the GP5 seals, or GP10 seals, my mistake, or do you go ahead and get armor? I think he got armor, so it's actually not that exciting. Support runes are sadly like the most boring thing in the game. Because they almost never change. I guess he does have magic penetration, that's pretty cool. Normally it's armor in the red buff, or the red marks, red marks.
And we do see a very, very aggressive Gragas once again. A lot of ability power coming out. Mokat rocking out 25% attack speed on his Shen. So going to be trying to get their key strike up as often as is possible. Maluno's Alistair, what is he going to be wearing this time round? 0.219, 4.5 movement speed, and 15% attack speed. So relatively similar, but instead of going for that attack speed quintessences, he has opted for the additional movement speed. And it makes a lot of sense for an Alistair who needs to get in a position where he can get headbutt and pulverize off together.
I like the name of the rune page, most junglers in capital letters.
Sinzowski in the top lane, Malphite, 9210. Actually taking plus 15 physical damage on Malphite. So, interesting one. That'll obviously scale quite nicely with his brutal strikes. It's going to help him last hit in that lane quite effectively. But you tend to see either armor or health really being the preferred ones.
Oh, so I can see Sinkowski likes My Little Pony. Based off the names of his room pages. Now look at room page names. They're horrible, man.
You see, I don't know My Little Pony, so sadly I didn't get the reference.
I have a 4-year-old sister, so I have seen the show.
It's okay. If you watch the show, Studio, we can forgive you.
Okay. And I post in the Reddit. No, I don't. I don't post in the Reddit. No offense, anybody does. But this game is underway. Just the MeetYourMakers with support Morgana. I have my eyes covered right now. I don't know. I have no idea how this is gonna go.
Yeah, I'm nervous because the thing is, if it works, it'll work well. But if it doesn't, it's gonna fail well as well. It's going to fall on its face, potentially. But the Black Shield is going to be very useful against Taric as well. That's something else to consider. Sitting in that lane, when Dazzle starts coming out, pop up that Black Shield and immediately turn the aggression around, especially if Slepper decides to throw out that Arcane Shift too early. It could end negatively for them. Everybody wearing a skin this time around. And I don't know, that Armor of the 5th Age Taric is pretty cool, but Red Baron Corki just has such an awesome moustache.
He does. That is a good stat. Also, it's such a rare skin. Actually, shout out to Red Baron, one of the IPL casters. I actually asked him this specifically, do you own Red Baron Corki? And he's like, of course, how can you even ask me? But, let's see. Do I fix my borderless bug? I get that one all the time when spectating for some reason.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you why. The league problems and issues are always a bit of a pain, but they are getting better. They are getting better. I know in the most recent patch, the floating text when you do a rewind and that plus 25 gold sticks on stream, it was a problem of mine because I do rewind fairly often. So luckily that has been resolved. We do see,
thank you, Riot, for that one.
Yes,
that was a pretty bad one.
I agree. I had one particular game where I did a rewind after a Baron fight, and there was gold and health everywhere. And this could end so badly. Dark Binding onto Anguish. The Pulverizer is going to go up. In actual fact, Muckler's going to be the first one to go down. Nobody else from MIM committed. They got a great Dark Binding, but nobody jumped onto it. And First Blood gets picked up by Aurelia.
The problem is Maluna wasn't actually being stopped. Like, Maluna just walked in there and got a pulverize off. You can't let Alistar do that. And you can see why. The only summoners burned were Ignites and Exhaust. Both Ignites used by Extinct and Slipper, actually. So a bit of miscoordination there. But, I mean, MeetYourMakers, they just did not respond appropriately, and their AD carry dies before anything happens. The one advantage is they still have all their summoners up, except Libic's Exhaust. So maybe they can make something happen, but that is not how you want to start the game. They just did not have the coordination.
And I love seeing this from teams when they do pick up that First Blood. Take a look at that. 4 assists across the board. So Tariq has gone back. He's sitting with 3 wards in his inventory. We see that Gragas has picked up a ward, and Null Magic Mantle has been picked up by Aurelia. So that early damage that Malphite's going to put out with the Seismic Shard and Ground Slam, it is just going to be mitigated somewhat. Malphite versus Aurelia. I've heard and read a couple of things saying that Malphite is considered a counter to Aurelia, and I've seen Aurelia's doing well against Malphite. So what do you think about the matchup?
It can really go in Malphite's favor. The problem is eventually Aurelia, just with her true damage, can do enough to stop Malphite. He just has to go ahead, get a stun before he can ground slam, and Aurelia will be perfectly fine at killing Malphite. But there's a bit of a snowball there. Unfortunately, Anguish already has that kill, and with that no magic mantle, he's not going to take much damage, and he's going to really be able to take control of this lane. Bot lane, Libic already taking a lot of damage actually, and he's not going to have any sustain to heal himself.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to get that spell vamp up. Compliments of not really going to be able to be pushing this lane. We do see Dazzle comes out onto Makla. I wonder what level we're going to see that Black Shield being picked up by Libic. If we're going to see a very aggressive Dark Binding and Tormented Soil with just a single point into Black Shield, and that is what it's going to be. So very early, and you can hear Arcane Shift has now been activated for Slepper. So timing for Libic's shield is really going to be very important in this lane.
Oh, he doesn't actually get the shield if the stun does land. He goes pretty low, and you have to be able to catch that. There is a very fast cast animation on Dazzle, but if you're playing support Morgana, you have to have that reaction time, and Alistar's actually headed to the bot lane.
And the Shen is there as well, so let's see how this one happens. There goes the head, but Pulverize is going to be able to hold Muckat in place in just a second. It does actually get him up. Now Maluna is going to be forced out of the lane. Ignite is not going to be able to pick up the kill, down to 39 hit points. Gragas was floating around for a brief moment looking for something, but Maluna very lucky not to give up that red buff at this early stage in the game.
And actually, looking at the... Karthus was actually heading down too, so everyone's going towards that bot lane. Really quick thing to note, Black Shield was actually recently nerfed with its earlier levels of cooldown, so it's got a 22-second cooldown. So Terra can actually just stun twice. And for that second stun, Morgana's not going to have her Black Shield up. So it's actually not as effective as it used to be with that nerf to her cooldown.
Yeah, so, longer cooldown, less effective in a support role, less effective at blocking the Dazzle. There's a very good Black Shield from Libic, holding up against Makla, but the burst combination of Tariq and Graves is just going to get better and better as more ranks into Shatter get points up. And depending on how Slepper wants to rank up Ezreal, if he's going to go for either that Mystic Shot or that Essence Flux, he has the ability to go either way.
And I could see a Mystic Shot build coming out just to go ahead and take advantage of the fact that Black Shield will not defend against it. At the same time, it's also going to be an easy way to break a Black Shield because it should be a fairly low level for the most part.
And of course, not really having a lot of ability power. Top lane, I am busy watching at the moment. Alistar thinking about a dive. Anguish actually takes another tower hit to the face. He's going to be a little bit careful with that because if Shen does manage to come up there, it could spell some trouble. But look at this. The cow and the fat man are now setting up. Zinkowski, I think maybe senses something is up. Is hanging back. Anguish takes another tower hit for potentially bait. Now Extinct is moving forward. Cask and Ignites, and Sinzowski knows he's in between a rock and a hard place. Equilibrium strike. There goes the headbutt. Pulverize locks him up. Ignite is ticking away on Aurelia. Is Aurelia going to get away? She does with 90 hit points. And the Bull delivers the horns to pick up another kill for Curse EU.
And that was actually the best decision that we could have seen come out of Sinkowski. Like, I'm in a bad spot. I'm just going to go ahead, try and get some damage done. Maybe kill Aurelia. Unfortunately, Saru actually went to that top lane and was not quite close enough to 6, which would have been enough to secure that Aurelia kill.
And of course, if he'd had that unstoppable force, could have potentially bought some additional time, maybe even flashing into Corki and Alistair. Into Gragas and Alistair, and then trying to flash away.
That'd be one really good flash to Corki.
Well, yeah. So 0-2 at the moment. Dark Binding goes out, goes between both champions. Mokat is going to be able to land this taunt. There comes the Dazzle. He's going to get the key strike off. He's actually looking for the kill into Slipper. That is who they want, but with the exhaust down, he's not going to be able to get the taunt off. And unfortunately, Mokat playing a bit defensively with that taunt ends up actually failing the gank.
And I mean, like, looking at the gold difference right now, we actually have first up 1,300 gold. Their ganks have just been working, especially with that first blood. So they need to make something happen, especially because I think Libic's going to run into a problem where he has Dark Binding at level 3. Black Shield is not going to be as useful as they think it is, because we're going to have Essence Flux blowing up immediately.
Huge damage! Sinkowski is going to go down. But that was really nice from Maluna. Beautiful, beautiful headbutt pulverize. Extinct followed it up with the explosive cast, knocked him over to the right-hand side of your screen, and then Ignite plus a little bit more damage. And that's a dead Malphite, and that's after a lane switch as well.
Malphite, he's not going to find any comfort in any lane at the moment. Aurelia is actually creep skipping against Karthus, who has no mana, and have so much trouble lasting underneath the turret. Has to go back to buy. Anguish will actually try and steal blue buff when it spawns.
And there goes another headbutt, pulverize, and body slam is all that's needed to pick that one up. Maluno 1-0-3. Every time he shows himself in a lane, somebody dies. And Curse have got to be happy with how this game has started.
This is why Alistair is actually one of the #1 bans on the North American scene. He's just so good at ganking. It's just, you cannot stop him. And actually, Sinkowski, not even level 6 yet. Just, the lanes are just not doing well for Meet-Your-Makers. They did not get the start they needed. And they can come back from this, of course. It's just going to be so hard for them when their solos are the same level as their bot lane.
And Maluno is a full level ahead. Let's see if this lands. Wall of Pain goes out. A very nice flash from Zaru. He manages to get himself into safety. And just as I hear True Shot, Barrage is finishing this bottom lane. 55 CS for Ezreal, 58 CS for Corki. But Corki has opted to go for the triple Doran's Blade, so that additional Doran sitting on his side. Maybe feeling the pressure in that bottom lane a little bit.
I can understand it too, because he knows that he has to be effective as quickly as possible. Because once top lane and mid lane, if they go for an early dragon, there's going to be still a little response from Sinkowski that will be effective.
Well, look at that.
Is level 6 though.
8 minutes into the game, and there's what, 3,000 gold advantage right now. That is huge at this stage. How does it actually equate? Because concentrated gold is what matters. Malphite 1,700 to 2,600. Karthus 2-1 to Gragas is 3-3 on Gragas, a full 1,000 gold ahead, and he's got a GP 10. We do see pressure. There comes the Black Shield. Soul Shackles goes out. The Pulverize knocks up both Tariq and Corki. Libic is forced out of the fight now. There comes the Explosive Cast. That puts him right back in range of Slepper. Maluno is trying to get another Pulverize set up, and Morgana the only one down, but 3 assists for Curse. And then distributing this gold so nicely.
I have to say, I do love when every time Extinct goes for a gank, it's going to look so casual if he doesn't use Body Slam. Like, what was that gank? He threw 2 barrels and just kind of casually walked back. But I mean, right now, just Curse is all over the place, and there is no reaction from Karthus. That's what you expect Karthus to do. You expect him to sit mid lane and keep farming. But the problem is, just with the way Extinct is playing, like, look how much damage Saru takes in the mid lane just from one combo. And Extinct is going to push down that lane, have more mana, have more sustain, and just Saru will not be able to A, farm as well, and B, gank as well. And no one's getting low enough for Karthus.
And look how scary this is right now. Gragas, he's moved top lane once, he's moved bottom lane once. 92 CS. Body Slam is going to get interrupted by the corner of the wall, but 92 CS. Karthus, who's been in middle lane almost permanently, he left once, at the same time Gragas did. 20 creeps behind. And Extinct is 3-0-2. He's been involved in every single kill that Curse EU has as well.
I mean, right now, Gragas is just going out of control. They need to find a way to shut him down, but Gragas is actually really hard to gank at this point. At level 9, he's clearing range minions with one barrel, and with that body slam, you can't actually get close to him.
He's sitting on 2,500 gold as well in the bank, so, you know, it's a huge chunk of change. Probably going to be saving for maybe a needlessly large rod and then Sorcerer's Shoes. You know, this far ahead, why not continue getting additional ability power? Or do you expect maybe finishing off the Deathfire Grasp a bit earlier?
I mean, anything he buys right now is going to be terrifying. Unless he goes for like a Zeal. Probably not going to be that effective, but just, his damage is so high.
Explosive Cast is going to pull Mockout backwards. A Headbutt Pulverized combo is going to lock him up in place for a little bit. He is going to be able to flash over the wall. Body Slam plus one more auto attack. One more would be required. Is the barrel going to go? And the barrel does! Extinct! Going huge. 4-0-2 right now. Hillbilly Gragas laying down the pain and currently eating MeetYourMakers alive. Another Headbutt Pulverized combo from Maluno. Mystic Shot, Arcane Shift, Essence Flux is just going to tear them apart. Anguish is able to pick up the kill after some damage from Extinct as well, and it's just all going wrong for MYM right now.
They're 0-9, they are behind in CS, they are behind in kills. The only advantage they have is that right now Chris has not taken a dragon or a turret. But when those turrets start to fall, when that dragon does go down, that gold lead's going to just skyrocket. They are so unbelievably far ahead. I don't know. I don't like calling games, but this is one situation where MeetYourMakers, they don't need one big play, they need about 4 to really get back into this game. And that's just terrifying, because Curse is not going to let that happen. Maybe one, they can get like one good situation, but they need so much to get back, just to even get close.
You see, Gragas has finished his items, and in actual fact has opted to finish an Abyssal Scepter, has Sorcerer's Shoes, and has a KG's lucky pick at 12 minutes.
Now, Lipic disconnected. Okay, there is the pause. I was about to say, it's like, where's the pause? They should probably stop the game very briefly so we can see what Lipic's gonna do. This is a good time to like talk about what they can do. So, Gragas is not necessarily initiating fights with his ultimate. He has the option to wait for Alistar to start a fight, or even a Taric stun, or a Aurelia stun. So, Black Shield won't be able to like stop someone from getting caught out of position necessarily, especially with its really long cooldown because it is being maxed out. I actually don't know if it's second or third because Morgana's not level 8 yet. So they can't necessarily stop a fight with Black Shield. I do not know. They have to go on the aggression, and that's going to be the scary part because if they go aggressive against Gragas, he's just going to kill them.
And the items as well, 12 minutes in, look at that. Not only has he got all the options available, he's got a huge CS lead. He's got the ability to roam around the map now. Bottom lane has definitely not gone in favor of MYM. 89 CS to Ezreal's 94, but Ezreal is 1-0-2 right now. How much gold is he actually currently sitting on? 3,700 in total to 3,100, so that's a small advantage. But with a combination of the Gragas and Alistar, who are just so fed and so far ahead, MYM have to stop the rot, stop giving up kills, and try to farm their way back into this. Maybe pick up 1 or 2 sly kills on the side, but if it continues, this is going to be a 20-minute surrender.
I'm going to give you two numbers, 7 and 10. That's how much MR Shen and actually, no, we have a gank on the mid lane. Saru flushes the barrel, but he actually is going low. Here comes the Shen top. They could finally get their first kill.
Oh, very nicely done. That's the killing spree gold as well. So Jaru's going to pick up a decent chunk of change, plus 404 gold for that kill. And really nicely done. That exhaust, plus the fact that the explosive cast missed, just ended up costing Gragas his life.
Very well played, you know. They are behind. Like, they have to keep that up. They have to keep getting kills like that.
Pressure in the bottom lane now. Lipic has managed to get that exhaust. Ignite goes out. Soul Shackles is landed onto Slepper, but it's not going to be able to be channeled. Zinnik is waiting for the Imbue or the Dazzle. Valkyrie is up and available, so when we see the Dazzle coming out, we'll most likely see that one. Mystic Shot goes out. Essence Flux, it's a bit short on range. They're going to carry on chasing, but Shen is nearby, so they've got to be a little bit careful. And another kill going to Team Curse right now. This time, though, I think it was Taric that picked up the kill credit for that one, unless I'm mistaken.
I believe so. And, oh, actually, let's not forget to fast forward to live.
Fast forward to live. Couple of seconds. There we go. So 13:58 now on live. 10-1, 7,000 gold. So per minute, Curse have been earning 500 gold more per minute. And that's the equivalent of at least one kill and a couple of CS.
That is just such a big lead at this point. The 7 and 10 numbers I was trying to give you, that's how much MR Shen and Malphite have against Gragas right now. Everyone else is at 0.
Wow. In the bottom lane, Libic is getting dived once again. Slepo with a couple of auto attacks, one more is all that's required. Zinnik manages to stay alive for a couple of seconds, but Mokat will be able to fly that final hit with the Vorpal Blade and the Key Strike. And that MR is so low. And Gragas has already got good base values.
Yeah, Gragas has incredibly high base damage with his skills, and he has really good ratios actually. 0.9 on his Q, 1 on his cast. Actually, top one we do have the fight coming out. Skowski knocked out of his tower, gonna go down, blown up by a barrel.
Yeah, and there was such a good explosive cast as well, knocking Malphite into range for Aurelia. There comes the flash over the wall. Pulverize, the headbutt is going to push him forward. Pulverize was on cooldown, I believe, so Maluna was unable to get that one off. But both champions immediately flashing over the wall. You can hear that was either like a call on LAN or Curse just saying, you know what, go balls deep, play this as aggressive as you can. And that was really cool to see both of them in sync on the same token pushing forward.
It's just like they are so well coordinated as a team. They have the experience. You can see that they practice, and it shows. Maluna actually gonna try and fight Mokata here. He needs to back up. All right.
That was a little cheeky. I think Maluna knew he was going to be able to pull that one off, so he just tossed out the head up. He also had Unbreakable Will available if he really needed it, but I like that little move.
You probably could not have actually 1v1 Shen at that point. I mean, Shen amazing in 1v1 situations. Maluna was at half health too, so that was just fun. But top turret's actually going to go down. Like there are no outer turrets to the top lane at this point. There's so MeetYourMakers can do down to 10,000 gold disadvantage, and they're going to lose a dragon right now. Well, so 11,000 gold in favor of Curse.
And not only that, 11,000 gold, 4 towers, 11 kills. Alistair 108, Ezreal 203, Irelia 302. Libic is in so much trouble through the Black Shield. That is just deleted. That cask is currently hitting for over 500 damage, around about. And with the magic resist reduction complements of that Abyssal Scepter, Morgana did not stand a chance.
The Black Shield absorbed. Let me look at that number. Let's see. It absorbed 98 damage of his Q, of his barrel roll, which did about 465 damage. So there is just no option right now. Zinnik actually caught in the bot lane. They do flash to catch him. He's tanky, but I do not think he can escape this.
He is going to be able to try get away. Yeah, Maluna is going to do the headbutt. Pulverize goes up to lock Corki in place. Somehow, Zinnik is going to get away with his life. And that flash from Maluna, so strong. Or rather, the Pulverize headbutt. Requiem is actually going to pick up that kill, though. I had forgotten there was a Karthus in the game. And that, I think, is the first Karthus ultimate after 17 minutes.
I mean, it does secure another kill, but I mean, they're just shutting down the support, which, frankly, no offense to Zinnik, he's done his job. He can die. It's okay. And actually, bot lane, we do have Gragas coming down. Extinct just wants to kill everybody.
He's going to manage to get taunted up from Mokat. Death by a grasp. He's going to use the barrels. Explosive cast is available in a couple of seconds. It's not even going to need it. Body slam and a couple auto attacks. He's going to be able to pick up that kill. And I think his blue buff is just about to wear out. But take a look at that. DFG completed. Sorcerer's Shoes completed. Body slams away. Ends up throwing Karthus away with that explosive cast. Now then uses the barrel into Libic. Libic's the one that's in trouble. Extinct is waiting for those cooldowns. Ignite was there if he wanted to use it. Maluna is does have Oracle's Elixir, so this may cost him an Oracle's. He's going to throw the headbutt back onto Jari. He's still alive. Extent is going to look for the kill here. If he lands it, Ignite will be able to pick that one up. The bull goes down in the background. Stand United is going to be used to save Morgana. So Shenhold saves the support Morgana. Extinct is the man that's now in trouble. Ezreal actually picks up that kill. In the background, Gragas is going to go down. Somehow Karthus is going to get away with his life. True Shot Barrage is going to pick up one kill. Immediately flashed away. Yeah, Rocket Barrage from Michael closed that one out. And you know what? Cursor just playing very aggressive. Just playing well in the face the whole time.
Look top really quickly. And you'll see what they're playing aggressively. They can die here, it doesn't matter because they're taking an inhibitor at the 19-minute mark from a split pushing Aurelia, and Zinnik's gonna make it to Aurelia. He might just suicide, but he can actually maybe get out of this.
So Zinnik is gonna keep running. The armor of the 5th age Tariq is about to find a Malphite, throws out the dazzle. Slow goes out, he's gonna keep running. Flash is not available. Dark Binding is going to cost him his life. But now can Irelia get away? She's actually going to go Blade Surge, Equilibrium Strike plus Ignite. Picks up kill number 1. Going to carry on fighting. The Shadow Dash taunt is out. Wall of Pain goes down. Dark Binding is on him. And that took a whole lot of effort to kill that Irelia. But Inhibitor is down at 20 minutes. Deathfire Grasp is completed alongside Abyssal Scepter, blasting one for Gragas. Aegis of the Legion, Boots of Mobility on Alistair. Trinity Force for Ezreal. More Malmortius and a Wit's End on Aurelia. I'm sorry, but I feel that this is GG.
Okay, they did give up 5 kills. They gave up no objectives as that happened, and that was a 4v5 where they took an Inhibitor at the 19-minute mark. I'm sorry, MeetYourMakers. I like you guys, but this is not your game. I do not know how they can come back from this. Like, this is almost beyond gone because they've lost. Oh my god!
Explosive Cask in conjunction with the barrel and body slam.
He's going for Zaru.
Does manage to miss both the barrel and the body slam. Zaru dodges both of those. Really nicely done. Slipper's now joined the fight. He's just going to remove Morgana from the fight. Zaru's now going to go down. They will be able to pick up Slipper. Somehow, Karthus gets away on 100 hit points. Zinnik now wants to join the party, but Zaro is running into an Aurelia. Bronze End of Blades will pick that one up, and Corky's going to be the next to fall. Equilibrium Strike, Dazzle, and the barrel will actually pick up the final hit. And the Bull wants a ninja. Maluno is chasing Mokka. Mokka is going to Shadow Dash Taunt through the wall, is trying to find death, is trying to find a turret. And
GG coming out. Oh my god. Extinct, what the hell? How'd you do that?
GG from Curse EU, and that is the curse that I know. That is the curse that I like to watch. After seeing them lose to Black earlier in the week, that must feel very, very good. And what a performance from Extinct. Gragas in both games. There's not much more to add, right, Studio?
I mean, no, there isn't. Extinct just killed everybody. Like, that was well played for all of Curse, but Extinct, oh my god. I've never seen a Malphite die that quickly to one person. Malphite got comboed down in about 1 second tops. Oh, that is just...
Yep, that's it. That's it. So Curse EU pick up the victory. They are going to be knocking MYM out of the round of 16. So that means MYM drop down to the IPL Challengers bracket, while Curse EU secure their spot in the IPL Elites. This is a $3,000 prize pool. And we've seen Mouse Sports doing it earlier. We've seen Curse EU doing it right now. Let me guys actually show you the bracket. You can see it over there on the top of your screen. IPL Elites, a couple of the teams, and how the Challenger bracket actually looks right now. So Mouse have advanced. They will be facing either Moscow 5 or Eclipse here, and of course we just watched Curse EU advancing. They'll be taking on either Millennium or Alternate. If you guys have had some fun with us and enjoyed yourselves, then yeah, follow me, facebook.com/quickshot or twitter.com/quickshot. That's QU1KSH0T, and leagueofstudio.com or twitter.com/leagueofstudio. Studio, it's been fun.
It's always fun casting you with you, Quickshot. I need to take a moment just to recover from just all of that. Oh my god. You can.
Yeah, it was huge.
Twitter? I'm gone now.
Yep, you are sorted. You are sorted. Twitter.com/League of Studio. Make sure you follow some support for us, guys. And then don't forget, it is Lead Speak for myself. That's facebook.com/quickshot. While we're talking about Facebook, though, don't forget that IGN Pro League is currently running an RP points giveaway. So facebook.com/IGN Pro League. And just click on offers, guys. You guys can enter the tournament there. So that is the cast for this evening. Myself and Studio are going to wrap things up. I do have to throw up some music and a very short advert break. I believe the IPL guys will most likely start a rerun or be playing something very, very shortly. So stick around. There's some more League of Legends action coming your way. And we'll check you on next time. Cheers, Studio.
Actually, one quick thing. I believe the North American games are going to be in a few hours from now. I do not know the exact time. I think it's 4 hours from now. So 5 p.m. then 1 a.m. CEST, if I'm getting that right. But yeah, I'll...
Sweet. Well, then US games coming up in a couple of hours' time. Stick around on the channel, and we'll see you around soon. Cheers, Studio. Cheers, everyone.
See ya.